Usually I make my films from here, my tiny home studio, and that's difficult enough, but what if I didn't even have that? No studio, no lights, no green screen. That means taking our virtual production setup outside, removing the background, and then making something impossible to do in here. There's only one way we're going to get away with doing this, and that's by using Beeble. It's video relighting software that takes your footage, does automatic rotoscoping, and then you can place yourself into any environment under any lighting. But there's just one more thing.
Hey Josh, I want to throw you a challenge. I was thinking maybe you could demonstrate what you can create with Beeble in 24 hours. I want to see how fast you can create something amazing.
Let's do it.
I'm going to need some help with this. So I've got Dan coming and he's going to help make this movie in 2 days. Hello.
Hello.
You going to help me make a film?
Yeah, okay.
First challenge is rigging the camera. We need a camera with autofocus because we're going to be doing some big camera moves, and we want the camera tracking, so we're mounting the iPhone to the camera as well. Relight our footage with Beeble and then bring it into Unreal Engine, and that's when the light will affect our character. So this is all going to be mounted on the gimbal as well.
I think I'll try balancing it on the run and see if it sticks. I think we should manage. I think it'll do it.
We wanted to do a oneer, just film the whole movie in one take. We were also concerned about the weather, because the best results from Beeble would be gotten under overcast lighting outdoors.
The one day I need to be overcast and we're getting glorious sunshine.
But the weather turned out to be a much bigger problem.
Sunlight can really affect the tracking from a LiDAR sensor like the one on the iPhone. So we're not totally sure if it's going to work. I really hope it does, because we just don't have time for software tracking. So I've got some of these football cones with tracking markers on them. I'm going to place them around this area so that if we get to software tracking, we have something to hook onto.
It didn't go very well, unfortunately. By the time we were ready, the sun was already overpowering the LiDAR from the iPhone, and we couldn't get anything solid. So unfortunately, we now have to try and track our shots with software, which is the last thing we need to be doing on a short time frame. So we've actually got the shot running through After Effects right now. Hopefully it can find a solve, but the big problem with After Effects tracking is it's not to scale. So even if it solves the exact camera move, when we bring that across to Unreal Engine, the move that the camera makes might not happen over the exact same distance we traveled on set. And After Effects has failed. Instead of messing around with this, I'm going to go back and do a reshoot this evening. While I wait to reshoot, I might as well be looking at some pre-built environments on Epic's marketplace that we can use for the film. I found this really nice modular dungeon, and I really like the Dystopia lab. This looks really cool, but I had to pay for this one. I've created some really creepy looking drone guys. I was originally going to have them with no face, but I'm not really sure how to do that. So now I'm going to put some of these guys in the scene and grab some Mixamo animations to bring them to life. So that's the opening environment. I've got my drone guys, lots of spark effects. All I need now is my actual footage. I thought I'd take a moment to go through a few things that might actually help you if you're trying to do anything like LiDAR tracking outdoors. One of the things you can do, of course, is shoot when it's not as bright, so we're doing more of an afternoon shoot. Another thing you can do is take a look through the LiDAR View app on the iPhone, and that's going to show you exactly what the depth camera can see to find out whether or not there's actually geometry in the shot that can help you to track. Thankfully, we've had a couple of takes already with no tracking errors. We're going to get this footage back to the studio. It's about midnight right now, actually. I'm just uploading these takes to Beeble, ready for relighting. So far, it's looking pretty promising. It's day 2. Let's see how Beeble's handled relighting our footage. So this is our footage imported into Beeble, and you can't see anything right now, just a dark silhouette of me because there's no actual lights. We need to add one just by hitting the light button up here, and now we can move a light around and light me. This is why we're here, guys. And this is not the way we're going to be working. We're going to be using Unreal Engine to light this footage. So we go to the Export tab at the top of the screen, and then you go to Unreal Engine. And you can see here all the passes listed that it's going to export for us. So to get them, we just want to hit download VFX passes. I'm in Unreal Engine right now with the footage that I've processed with Beeble, and I think it's looking really good. Obviously way better than it was 2 years ago. Back then you could only process an albedo map and a normal map. This time we've got so many maps. You can see them right here. We've obviously got our albedo, our alpha, and our normals, but we've also got roughness and specular. But I wanted to show you what happens when you try to light this, say with a point light. Let me just turn this point light on. I've got it placed just behind the plane and it's casting a bit of a backlight. But here's the thing, using a point light in this way is just not going to look realistic because this point light is a tiny source and it's very hard light, casting really harsh shadows. The trick here is to increase the radius of this light to cast a little bit of a softer shadow, and that's going to look a little bit better on our footage. So let's increase the source radius here to something like 20 or 30. Even that just softens that out a bit and just allows for a little bit more of a natural, softer look. The normal map of this is incredibly good. Let me show you that. It's temporally stable and it's got a lot of detail as well. Look at this still frame, the amount of detail in my face when I've got it scrunched up like that. Anyway, I'm going to get back to it now and I'll see you soon with the results. We're going to put the finishing touches on the film. Dan's going to be our wonderful, the voice of the meeps?
Yes, the meep people. What's my motivation, though?
I am being pushed into the middle of the room.
I imagine it's something along the lines of, or, that's pretty good.
Small mouths and flat features. Alright, that's enough of that. I'm finally getting some renders out here. I've only got a couple of hours left. Really tired, but I think we've got something good. I'm cutting corners to try and just get this over the line. Hey buddy, how you doing?
Hey Joshua.
This is the end result of our 24-hour challenge here, okay?
This is the result, okay.
Holy man, that's crazy. You did this in 24 hours? That's insane.
Yeah, man, we're pretty knackered.
The quality is so good.
Dropping a piece of footage into an environment and having it just be there, it's wild. Like, what actually would it take to do that film in any other production? You would need full control of the lighting because you're doing a one take, so you need to be able to flip from one location to the next.
The traditional way, it would have taken an entire team. So many people should be involved.
I know you're continuing to iterate, if you can get them to 4K, that would be amazing. But I know, I've been asking for that for a while. Hats off to you, man. This was fun.
This is completely next level stuff, really.
Making films like this quickly is a lot of fun, but if you want to take a project really seriously and create something really spectacular, you need to check out the Virtual Filmmaker's Playbook. This is our 10+ hour course that shows you how to make Hollywood level short films like the one we made in this tiny space. Believe it or not, take a look. And we've just added an entire section on how to use Beeble really effectively. That's a whole new hour we've added to the course. And if you want to grab the playbook, now would be the time, because the next 100 people to use the code JKPlaybook will get it for 50% off. And watch this video next. It breaks down the entire process we went through to bring Treasure of the Mummy, our virtual production short film, to life.